Hi, it's Charlotte with SPM Residential. We decided we wanted to record a little webinar for you that you could be introduced to some of our preferred vendors. They're going to give you some maintenance tips, some additional preventative maintenance you could be doing to make sure that your investment property is taken care of well. So stay tuned and watch and meet our vendors.
Good morning, I'm Jamie Rue, owner here at Bluewater Plumbing Service. I've been in business about 33 years. I started this company when I was 19 years old. I dropped out of high school my senior year, which I look back as a huge mistake. I probably should have dropped out my junior year. I was always destined to be in the plumbing field. We've been here in Wilmington now for about 13 years, originally from Fayetteville. We have 26 employees. We're mainly specialize in commercial service, commercial residential. We do a lot of emergency call work at night. We have very good technicians, very experienced technicians, and there's not a job too big or too small that we can't do.
I'm Charlotte with SPM Residential Services, and I just wanted to chat a little bit with our friend Jamie here from Bluewater Plumbing. Wanted to talk to him a little bit about some preventative things or some of the common calls you're getting from our company and how owners could do something maybe preventatively. What's one of the biggest things you think you get called out for?
Probably water heaters. So preventively on a water heater, once a year they recommend flushing a water heater, regardless if it's a tankless or tank water heater. We strongly suggest that. I mean, honestly, if you flushed a water heater, it could possibly add 4 to 5 years additional years to the life of that water heater by just taking care of it yearly. It takes about an hour and a half to do it. We don't suggest doing water heaters over 10 years old because sometimes you actually cause more problems than you do trying to rectify them with heaters a little bit older. But anything under 10 years old, we highly recommend
That's a great
flushing
idea.
those once
I didn't even think about that. Another thing, I think when I go to look at new properties, I'll notice they have irrigation, and I personally did not winterize my irrigation one year and on my well, and I ended up having to replace the manifold, correct, or
RPZ
something?
valve, yes, ma'am.
And that was very expensive.
Yes, ma'am.
So is that something your company could help our owners with?
Absolutely, absolutely. Catch it early before the season gets started, and when we're done feeding the lawn, we'll come out, we'll either shut the meter off if it's on its own separate meter, and we'll bleed the system down, the RPZ. Sometimes we even remove the RPZ, completely just remove it, we'll set it in the garage, and there's nothing there that can freeze. And then when the season comes back up, we'll come back and reinstall, turn it back on, make sure everything's working fine. But definitely, we do multiple calls in the wintertime where RPZ valves have froze and people just forgot to turn them off and to do due diligence and winterize them.
Oh, great. That's something that the property managers could set up with your company
Yes,
to
ma'am.
do for owners on their behalf. That's
Yes, ma'am.
great. What about, gosh, I thought I had all these questions for you, but one of the things I'm thinking about are garbage disposals.
Garbage disposals.
I mean, we get calls all the time that are like, my garbage disposal's not working. I mean,
Yes.
Number one, how long do garbage disposals last?
Well, it depends on the use and the abuse. Some of them, sometimes everybody puts everything in the Lord's world in the garbage disposals. So we try to suggest about what not to put in them.
Okay.
Anything silky.
Okay.
Onion peelings, corn shucks, stuff like that. We try to keep those out of the garbage disposals, something that can't be ground up. Preventative maintenance, honestly, when you're cleaning the kitchen at night, turn the hot water on and just pure hot water out of the tap and just let the hot water run. And as you do that, let the garbage disposal run at the same time. 30 seconds, 45 seconds. The hot water combined with the blades moving, it keeps them blades up and free, and also helps keep that drain a little bit clear.
Yeah. And I've been telling tenants a lot too. I don't know if it's the same way that it used to be, but a lot of tenants will say, hey, the dishwasher's not cleaning my stuff properly. And I'm kind of thinking maybe they haven't cleaned the filter or run the garbage disposal.
That's correct, because a dishwasher ties in 90% of the time, the dishwasher ties into the garbage disposal. So sometimes if a dishwasher problem that's not draining properly, it may not be the dishwasher at all. It could be the garbage disposal. So we got to kind of look at those two things. And we always look at that when we have a call to come out to an appliance issue. We don't do appliance work, but we'll come out and check the drain system. First thing we check is that garbage disposal, make sure it's free and clear.
Are there any other things that we call on you guys quite frequently besides, I'm thinking I wasn't going to mention it because maybe it's like a faux pas, but I was going to mention toilets.
Well, that's a good point. That was actually on my list to talk to you about. So let's talk about preventive maintenance on high water bills, right? So we get a lot of calls where the bill is several $100s higher than it was a month before. Running toilets are the biggest culprit. Now, you never hear it, right? You go into the bathroom, they turn the fan on, or the water's running, you don't ever hear the toilet. It could be such a slight noise. So we suggest sometimes to pull the lid off the toilet and look into the tank to see if you hear, after the toilet stops flushing, to see if you hear noises, see if you hear running water. You also can go as far as check the meter, the water meter. This is our telltale sign. So whenever we get a call from you guys and we say I got a high water bill, before I even go into the home, I will pull the meter cover and look at the meter to see if the meter's spinning. So if the meter is not spinning and is a total dead stop, there is no leak in the house. But if we look at that meter and that little dial is barely spinning just ever so slightly, 80% of the time it's probably a running toilet. So that will creep up on you really quick. So preventative maintenance on that, just periodically check the water meter. While everything's off in the house, check the meter, make sure it's turned off, and then check your toilet.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, those are all really, really great suggestions. And I hope, this helps our owners, this helps our tenants. But we really love working with you. You're one of our preferred vendors,
Yes,
and
thank
you're
you.
really great. And we appreciate everything that you do for us
Thank
and
you.
for our clients to give them the best service so that their tenants will remain in place and be happy.
Thank you. Thank you for all you do for us. I mean, y'all have been a great partner to work with, and our office staff loves you guys over there. And y'all make it easy. Y'all call, and we go, and we fix it, and it's over. So,
Yeah, that's great. And we don't have to go back.
All
so
right.
thanks a lot,
Absolutely.
Jamie at
Thank
Bluewater
you.
Plumbing. And
you.
we look forward to working with you many years to come.
Hi, my name is Mark House with House FX Roofing. We have been in business for 6 years, and we have been in the roofing industry for 13. We take care of all residential roofing needs, along with siding and exterior repairs to fascia, soffit, and aluminum wrapping.
Hi, it's Charlotte again, and I'm here with Mark from House FX. I really appreciate you taking time out of your morning to come discuss and help out our owners. I'm the new business director, and I go to all the properties and walk them before we bring them on to manage. And a lot of times I'm walking properties and I'm sort of looking at things that maybe an owner hasn't done. And I'm telling them, oh my gosh, you need to do this, this, and this. What are some of the things they could be doing prior to onboarding their property with us in maintenance of their property?
Well, simple maintenance of the property is probably having a roof inspection be completed. That would include inspection of the gutters, cleaning out any debris out of the gutters, anything that might create some type of damming during during rain. So those are some things that could go along with, if there's trim or fascia, soffit that needs touch-ups or replacement due to rot. Those are good times to address those areas before they turn into larger issues.
Yeah, I've noticed that a lot. I'll go to a house and there'll be pine trees, which are, I think some people like them. I'm not a big fan. I know that's kind of anti-North Carolinian, but they do tend to pile up in the gutter. And then when we do get one of these heavy rainstorms or say a tropical storm, they get full, and that's something owners can be doing. Tell me something a little bit about how we might go about. I went into a house yesterday and there was some stains on that bonus room upstairs after a rain they had in Brunswick County. How do you guys go about identifying those, if they're roof leaks?
So with a particular, sometimes it is very difficult to actually pinpoint where a certain leak is coming from. You would obviously start out with an attic inspection to kind of see if you're seeing any type of watermarks coming down the sheathing. From there, if there is visible damage, we could replace those areas. And if it's a larger concern, we can help with facilitating through insurance. So those are some possibilities with that. But that kind of goes back to, having your roof inspected yearly, maybe before the hurricane season, to get pictures of the roof, of the existing condition, so we can have an idea of if some things are happening with the roof. We have corresponding areas of the roof that we can point to.
Yeah, that's a really great idea. I didn't even think about that because I know we live in a storm-prone area. We've been quite a few years without a big one, thank goodness. But you just brought up a really good point, and I don't think anybody thinks about that. I should probably have my roof photographed and keep that in a file.
Yes.
So you've got proof that the storm actually did what it did.
Yes. So there's no discrepancies about if this damage had been there. Having an inspection in the beginning of the summer before a hurricane season will give you the documentation needed to prove your point.
That's awesome. And I do know that you came and spoke to our office a couple months ago. That's the first time I met you. And you were telling us about this program where, is it NCJOA has a grant program?
Yes.
Tell me a little bit about that.
NCJOA customers are provided a grant with the Fortified Roofing Grant. So they have an inland grant and they have a coastal grant for the beaches. They are providing $6,000 towards a roof replacement in the inland houses and $8,000 on the houses on the coast at the beaches. So with those two, they can be, see if you're eligible at the websites that they have provided, strengthenyourcoastalroof.com and strengthenyourroof.com are two websites that you can call, but you can also check in with the Fortified IBHS and check in with NCJOA insurance to see if you qualify for those grants.
Yeah, I think you've helped us help some of our owners get some new roofs recently.
Yeah, there's even been some situations where the roof was totally paid for with that $6,000. So there are customers who have gotten a free roof through the grant, and the $6,000 or $8,000 covered the entire roof replacement.
That was awesome. I was so glad you brought that program to our attention, and I've actually even shared it with some of my friends, and they should just reach out to you. You could come out. They can also go online.
Yes, online. Like I said, strengthenyourcoastalroof.com and strengthenyourroof.com is the beach coastal grant.
Yeah. And did we miss anything? Is there anything else you feel like owners could be doing, or anything else that your company can help our owners in making sure that their house has all the preventative maintenance done?
I really think those inspections, those are free through your property management, and those are the things that really need to be kind of caught before they actually become a big deal, because once you see the leaks within the interior home, you're kind of too late. At that point, your drywall work, other remediation things that have to go on.
Yeah,
so,
we don't want to end up with a mold problem
No,
or
I don't
anything
want
like that. That's not fun. Well, I really appreciate you coming and talking to us today, and I hope that's going to help some of our owners really take better care of their investment property, and also it will help keep the tenants happy. Thanks for taking the time to watch our webinar. And if you have any questions or think your property might need some of this preventative maintenance, reach out to your property manager and she'll get it scheduled for you as soon as possible. Thanks again, and thanks for choosing SPM Residential Services.